The word queer has its roots in anti-LGBTQ beliefs, but it has grown to be an important term for the LGBT community. Queer is an umbrella term for gender identities or sexual orientations that would be considered outside of the norm. Since there are many different identities and the list is expanding every day, queer is important for unifying the LGBTQ community under one term for both simplicity and for community. Queer erasure is the suppression of queer history. While most kids learn about the civil rights movement in school, something like the queer rights movement, which had similar values and effects, isn't taught. But queer erasure also applies to the lack of existing records to find that information in the first place. Both Longwood and queer history have important connections to the civil rights movement, but the connections between all three factors are missing. We're going to discuss why this absence exists, how it connects to queer erasure, and why it matters we fill in the gaps of this part of history. The civil rights movement and queer history are deeply connected. Many of the activists we hear about are from the civil rights movement and have connections to the queer rights movement as well. For example, Kiyoshi Kuromiya was a close friend and fellow activist of Martin Luther King Jr., and he was also involved with the queer rights movement. But while we learn about the civil rights movement, we learn barely anything about queer history despite their connections. This applies to the culture of Longwood as well. We know Longwood's deep history with the civil rights movement, specifically the role that Barbara Johns played in the Brown versus Board of Education trial. When honors freshmen come to campus for their retreat, one of the mandatory places they visit is the Moton Museum, where they are taught about the historical context of Farmville to the civil rights movement. With honors priding itself on inclusivity, it makes sense to teach students about the Moton Museum, but there is a lack of representation of queer history. Why are there missing pieces of queer history here, and why haven't they been explored further? It's very difficult to find resources about queer history in the civil rights movement at Longwood, but we still know this history exists because of both Longwood's and queer history's connection to the civil rights movement. Somewhere there's a missing piece, and that's what queer erasure is. Not just that queer history has been buried, but that sometimes it wasn't even recorded in the first place. If we don't uncover this history, then Longwood will remain on the list of places where queer erasure has been successful. If we can dig up this history and reconnect it to the importance of the civil rights movement at Longwood, then we can create a fuller, richer history of the university that focuses on many social movements, not just one. Because social movements are often linked, and progress in one area can often inspire progress in another. And similarly, if we can find the queer history hidden in the civil rights movement at Longwood, we'll be one step closer to progressing away from queer erasure as a community and showing queer students that their history is equally valued.